Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aaliyah, and if you are new here, please be sure to subscribe because we're going to do a lot of videos like this, which if you haven't already known by clicking on this video with the title, today we're going to be talking all about celiac and our journey with it. Well, I say our because in today's video we have
Hi.
Mom. So, since we are talking about celiac today, I brought in our health specialist celiac expert. Because if you don't know, I have celiac, she has celiac, and my sister has celiac, and she will be in here in a minute. But first, we should start off by saying, what celiac is.
Okay. Well, I think it's helpful to know what celiac is not, and it is not an allergy or an intolerance, which is what a lot of people think. They say it's like a gluten allergy or describe it as an allergy. It's actually an autoimmune response in your body, so it reacts differently than an allergy does in that it affects your intestines and it leaves you maybe susceptible to other autoimmunes.
Yeah.
And you rough stuff.
Rough stuff? What?
I'm just kidding, because you're laughing. So the only way to cure your celiac or to help your celiac is to not eat gluten, but it is a lifelong journey. You can't just heal your intestines and then decide to start eating gluten again. It's forever. So you have to completely cut out gluten forever.
So celiac isn't the eating of gluten, it's the effect of your body because you get rid of celiac by not eating gluten?
Basically, you keep it under control by not eating gluten.
Yeah.
Exactly. And gluten's like what you would find in bread products and a lot of packaged goods, wheat, barley, rye. So it's found in a lot of foods, especially in our American diet.
Yes. You said it's a lifelong journey.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to, So since it is a lifelong journey, there has to be a start to it. And so the reason why me and my sister know that we have it is because of my mom. Because if you didn't know, celiac is genetic. So usually if someone in your family has it, everybody should get tested because you could probably have it too. So would you like to share a bit about how you found out and your struggles?
Sure, I can. I have a long story, but I will shorten it up in the interest of this video. But basically, about 2010, I just was chronically sick with a lot of stomach issues. I felt like I constantly had a flu. I lost a ton of weight, and it was right after Aaliyah's sister Chloe was born. So a lot of doctors told me, oh, you're just tired, you're stressed out. They kind of dismissed my symptoms and just told me I'll start feeling better, basically, which I did not start feeling better. So I went around to a lot of doctors to try to figure out what was wrong. I started at a homeopathic doctor, which they use kind of natural remedies to see what's wrong instead of traditional medicine.
What is a natural remedy?
What is it?
Yeah.
So instead of going to a regular doctor where maybe they would prescribe you pills or some sort of just more traditional treatment like what you would find at any doctor, like your pediatrician or anybody like that, they sort of take a different approach and kind of do it from the inside out, so to speak. So they deal a lot with how your food choices are affecting your body and sort of what's going on as a whole person.
Oh, that's cool.
It's kind of like what functional doctor is now, same sort of thing, but at that time I went to a homeopathic doctor, which is similar. So I bounced around from doctor to doctor because nothing really worked to the point of me completely feeling better. And it actually took me close to 8 years to be diagnosed with celiac. And in that time, I had 2 tests for celiac, which both came back negative. And part of the reason for that is during this journey of trying to feel better, early on, one of the doctors suggested that I cut out gluten and dairy and a couple other foods from my diet, which I had done, and I started to feel a little bit better, so I kept with that diet. So when they tested me at that time for celiac, it didn't show up.
Which you also still didn't feel great because of the cross-contamination, right?
Right, exactly, which is
So-
something we'll get into as
In a
well, because
minute,
that's
yeah.
very, very important and a very good point to bring up.
Yes.
So ultimately, I did find a functional practitioner, which is similar to the homeopathic, where they kind of look at the whole person and take an approach of like everything that you're doing. So blood work, diet, exercise, lifestyle, all that's included. I found one locally where I live, and she really helped me out, obviously by diagnosing me with celiac, and also getting me on the right path to try to feel better. And I can explain later how that diagnosis felt and that whole process, but we can jump to Chloe's story.
And now we have my little sister Chloe here to tell her story.
That's me.
Hi, Chloe.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Do you want to tell your story about how you found out you had celiac?
Yeah, so basically, I was always sick. We didn't really know what it was. And one day we were just at the doctor's, like the yearly checkup, right?
No, we went because you
sick.
kept getting one sickness after another.
Oh, yeah.
And what grade were you in?
Third.
3rd grade.
And I was getting sick a lot. And then we got tested and I found out I was lactose intolerant, I had celiac, and allergic to eggs.
And also, didn't they not want to test you for celiac, and mom like had to push for you to get tested, right?
Did that
Like
happen?
you
I don't
knew you
remember.
had like a feeling that she had celiac.
Yeah, well, I made the suggestion for her to get tested just because I knew that celiac can present in a lot of different ways. And one of them for children is you get chronically sick with things like colds, ear infections, strep throat,
She had all
blue
that.
legs, and
All
yeah,
that.
and you just couldn't recover. And you also weren't gaining weight and growing at a rate you should have been. So that was another huge sign for celiac in kids.
And so didn't you have to, like the doctor wouldn't have tested her if you didn't say anything, right?
Yeah, I don't know if ultimately he would have, but probably not at that visit when I suggested it. So how did it feel when you were diagnosed?
I was a bit upset, but I didn't really know a lot of stuff that I couldn't eat. But at first, it was really hard because we didn't know what to eat and what not to eat. And like there's a lot of things that we shouldn't eat. And well, we've gotten more into it. I was like, what, 3 years ago or something?
Yeah, and our family wasn't fully gluten-free until I got diagnosed with celiac, because then we outnumbered, because before it was just them two, so...
Yeah, Mason gets annoyed.
Well,
He does.
but he's really supportive of it too.
Yeah, he is, but he does get annoyed. That's why he hangs out with his friends sometimes just to eat gluten.
And then what did you have to do after you were diagnosed? What did you have to do? Remember about the biopsy?
No, you can say I forgot a lot.
Okay, so in order to be accurately diagnosed for celiac.
Oh, yeah, no. Sorry, no, I remember.
Go, yeah.
So, I had to eat a bit of gluten before, like, it's not really a surgery, is it?
No, it's like a procedure.
It's like a procedure. And like, did they like put a camera like down my throat to my stomach?
Mm-hmm.
What about your intestine?
Yeah, your intestines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your intestines.
Okay,
Small
so-
intestine. They take a little piece of your small intestines, right? A biopsy of your small intestines.
They do that. They just see like what your reaction is, sort of.
Yeah, they test it to see if your
Do
villi
they just
are
like keep your
damaged.
do they just keep that little piece of intestine?
I don't know.
And aren't the villi like the fingers?
Yeah.
Does it like absorb the stuff?
Huh?
Yeah, so the villi are these little like
yeah.
hair-like things on the top of your small
Can
intestines.
sort of pictures
And-
somewhere.
yeah. And when they're healthy, they just stick up like a normal, and that helps with absorption. And
Yeah, that's why my hand was sore. Like
Your
no, 'cause
hand's
it's
sore?
No, like not sore. Like they like put like a needle in like my wrist.
What?
right
yes,
here.
they did. Yeah, because when you go under, We're regressing. We're regressing.
Wait,
This is bloopers. This is background.
Yeah.
Cut this out of the video.
That,
Yes.
Could you imagine?
Not your whole part, just this part.
That would be insane if I
Okay.
actually didn't have it.
Okay, include this in the video. You might get a biopsy. I'm not going to explain it. You'd be scared.
Anything else you want to add about celiac right now, your diagnosis? I mean, we're going to have you back for other videos, but this one's just about...
But like, how about being like a kid in like, I mean, I'm a kid too, but like in like lower school and stuff, having celiac, and because you have like the birthday parties in your class and stuff?
There was this, well, we just like bring in treats, but there was like this one memory that I had.
Mm-hmm.
There was someone who like, so someone was like bringing in Krispy Kreme. It wasn't even in my grade. It was like 7th grade. I was in like 3rd grade. They were like bringing that in for like birthday or something. I don't know. It might have been, I don't know what grade. But so she like they like pointed it out and said like, look, donuts, you can't have them. Like, I didn't even see them. It's just hard. And a lot of people do forget that you're gluten-free a lot, but
Yeah.
most of my friends, like, they make sure that stuff is gluten-free, usually.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yes,
Well,
that
we
was
appreciate it.
really good.
Peace out.
Would you like to say anything?
Do you want to say
Really?
bye or anything, or just you're good?
Drink water.
What? What? Wait,
Okay.
no, like that. Oh, that's my turn. Okay. So then, after Chloe got diagnosed, then and Mason, my older brother, also got tested, but he doesn't have it. So my brother didn't have it, but my sister did. And since my mom and sister did, they're like, okay, you have to get tested. And I also needed to get tested because it was a virtual musical theater intensive, and at night I had like pasta and strawberries and some other stuff I don't really remember. But one night they had a class at night for 2 days with like the same person, because like half people went one day and the other half went the other day. So the first day of it, I didn't have to go that day, thankfully, because I had the pasta and then I had a really bad stomach ache, like it hurt to walk. And like I had to be in a certain position, like even sitting down it hurt unless I was in like a certain position. So thankfully I didn't have to go that day because I was in like a lot of pain. And I had a lot of stomach aches when I was little too, and like a lot of problems with that. But like other than that, I didn't show any signs. So, but like we still need to test me because it's like in the family or whatever. So then I went in to get tested, and it took a while to come back, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because I got it. Yeah. So I was like waiting. I was like, I need to know now. And like I sort of started not eating gluten, which I kind of do regret that, because that was like my last chance to eat gluten because it came back that I had celiac. So I was like really upset at first because I kind of feel like I did. And I was like what I was saying earlier, how like, I remember since my mom had it, I like knew like kind of what it was. I didn't know obviously as much as I do now, but like at the store being like, it probably isn't that hard. Like there's like Annie's gluten-free mac and cheese, because I used to always eat, well I still do, but like Annie's mac and cheese. I was like, I could easily go gluten-free. I'll just like get all the gluten-free versions of everything. Which like now, yes, we can get into more of that in a minute too. But it's still hard, like when you go out to eat or like at the mall when there's like the soft pretzels and you smell them and you just can't eat them. Or like other things like that, like artificial cookies. Which you're probably glad about that. Which also, it does make me eat healthier, because like over, like when winter break was about to start, like everyone was bringing in treats, like at my dance and at school, and I really couldn't eat any of it. I mean, I still ate candy and stuff, but like, it definitely made me like make a lot of better choices anyways. Like it forced me to, I guess. So I definitely eat less like unnecessary sugar, which is good. I mean, I still eat like sugar. Don't think I'm like sugar free over here. Like no, like we found some really good gluten-free cupcakes and stuff. So I went to the gastroenterologist, and they said how like we didn't. Did I get my blood drawn there too or no? I don't think. thought I did, and then I said I didn't want to.
Yeah, I don't think you had to there because she had all the blood work.
Yeah. So it said like I definitely had celiac because of like I was like above a certain thing, and I said that I did not want to get the biopsy because my mom told me what they did, but she kind of realized that wasn't a good idea because then I kind of freaked out. And so the fact that my mom has it and my sister has it, like chances are I have it, so I just never got it.
So the biopsy, let's just to clarify, since we've talked about biopsy several times, basically it's an endoscopy, which like Chloe said, they put you to sleep, they go through your throat and they take a sample, or a couple samples actually, of various spots of your small intestine to see what type of damage there is from celiac, because that's like the hallmark of a celiac diagnosis, is to do the biopsy, see the damage of the villi, and that's how they confirm it. But in Aaliyah's case, the doctor did want to do the endoscopy. However, since, like Aaliyah said, since Chloe and I both had it, that she was willing to not have Aaliyah go through it, since she was pretty confident, obviously, with the markers from her blood work that Aaliyah had celiac.
Yeah, but the thing that was harder for me with celiac, at the beginning, I remember especially, it's like, well, I can literally eat bread and be fine. Like, the only time I showed symptoms was that really bad stomach ache that one day, and then when I was little. But other than that, it was pretty asymptomatic. Like, if you didn't have celiac, like, I wouldn't know. But the thing that my mom was telling me is that, like, we probably caught my celiac early, and I could have gone down the wrong path and, like, gotten really worse off later. So even if you're asymptomatic and you have celiac, you still have to like not eat any gluten. And I feel like that's also honestly harder because I don't know if I have gluten. One day I had like a stomach ache after going on like a school trip, and I had like gluten-free like a sandwich that they said, but we don't know if that was actually gluten-free or not. So like next time I go, I'm just gonna like pack my lunch just to be on the safe side, because that was really annoying having like a stomach ache the rest of the day. But like other than occasionally, like I really wouldn't know if I had gluten or not, which like made it harder to switch because I was like, there was no consequence besides the future.
However, I will say on the heels of that is that you did have some migraines, and you were also experiencing a lot of lightheadedness and extreme, for you, tiredness. Like Aaliyah just didn't have the same energy level as she had in the past. So part of a celiac diagnosis a lot of times is low, either being, having like low ferritin stores, which is like your iron, being very low in iron. So that was actually part of her and my actually diagnosis, but that was something that was related to celiac, definitely. Like you probably wouldn't have had that without celiac, because anemia is also a byproduct of celiac. So you were dealing with, yours wasn't necessarily like the classic symptoms as people think of it, but looking back, definitely she had a lot of the symptoms of celiac.
Like I knew I had like the iron thing, but I thought that was like after I went off of gluten because it wasn't getting the nutrients from the gluten.
No, it's because your body's not absorbing iron.
Also, it was before?
Like, it's all at the same time. It's all like at the same time.
So that was explained to me wrong then. I don't.
Well, I'm glad we could clear that up with you guys.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So both Aaliyah and I actually, and Aaliyah's still going through it, have to do iron infusions, which is where they basically just put iron into your body to try to pump up your iron reserves so you have enough.
Now I definitely have a lot more energy and can like run for longer or dance for longer, which is very helpful.
Yeah, for sure. So celiac can present itself in a lot of different ways, especially, well, among everybody, I guess, but especially kids. There seems to be maybe different effects on the kids. Like with Chloe, like some of the younger kids, they're not growing as much, not gaining weight like they should. Sickness. Everybody, a lot of people with celiac, no matter what age, experience a lot of sickness. But migraines is a big one. Yeah, migraines, itchy skin, rashes.
Oh, that was me,
yeah. Hair loss, like if your hair is like falling out in clumps. weight gain or weight loss without trying. I mean, the list of symptoms go on and on and on. There's so many. And some people don't even experience any stomach issues, which is what most people think. They think like, oh, well, I'll know because I'll feel really sick to my stomach all the time. But you might not have that, like Aaliyah, and maybe you have some other symptoms, or think you're asymptomatic because you don't think those symptoms relate to celiac. So I think that's really important for people to understand is all the different effects of celiac.
Yeah. So that's it for this video, but definitely be sure to subscribe and like this video and also comment, because our next video is going to be us debunking myths, and we also have some plans for some future videos like Shop With Me. We're going to explain like celiac further.
Cross-contamination is a big one.
Is a huge one.
And also, I think we're going to cover in a video how to help like your friends and family if they have celiac, like how you can appropriately help them.
Yes. And like, or if you have someone coming over to your house that has it, that can go into that video too.
Right.
Because that's definitely like, you're like, is this actually gluten-free, you know, because of the cross-contamination. So yeah.
And we'll cover that in depth. Sorry. We'll cover the cross-contamination
in
depth
yes,
too.
Yes. And then, but definitely be sure to subscribe, because our next video is going to be amazing, all about debunking myths. And I also have other videos on my channel, like stretching routines and stuff. So just subscribe with like the all-around health channel. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Bye.
It's gonna be so much fun to edit.